Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 72. I am so happy to have you here. Is my audio and video fine? Hi, Laura. It's so amazing to see you and the first one here. Thank you so much for joining the live. I really appreciate it. And which part of the world you are joining us from? And I see Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Nice to have you back again. Okay, Laura says pleasure to be here. And Laura is joining us from Ireland. Beautiful, beautiful. And welcome, Lisa. And for anyone who don't know, Laura is another wonderful, wonderful teacher on Insight Timer. I myself use her track to fall, sleep. So yeah, I would recommend checking her out definitely. Lisa says, always so nice to be here. Beautiful. I am always so happy to have you here. Johnny says, hello, Anisha. Hello, Johnny. Nice to see you here again at the start. Hi, Caitlin. Welcome. Always, always delighted to have you. Okay, so I see we have a lot of people coming back, which I am so, so very grateful for, to know that you guys are getting some value out of this and you're choosing to spend your valuable time with me. Because especially for the ones, who have mornings at their, place. So yeah, it means a lot that you're making me a part of your morning routine. Hi, Amber. Amber says, hey, darlings. I am so happy, really, to see all of these familiar faces here and some new ones as well. Okay. So, for the ones who are joining us for the very first time, let me take a moment to introduce myself and share what we do in these lives. So, hi, Susie. Welcome back and good morning. Happy to have you. Okay. Yeah. So, I was saying that for the ones who don't know me yet, my name is Anisha Maheshwari, and I have been a teacher on Insight Timer for about like more than 2.5 years now. And I have a lot of content revolving around mindfulness, overcoming your negative thoughts, and stuff like that. And if you want to, you can always, check my profile out to know more about my content. But for now, for this live, so what we do in these Wheel of Wisdom live is we usually start these lives with a meditation to open ourselves, to get more centered, and to raise our vibrations so that we can receive that higher wisdom that wants to come through, that wants to reach us. And Amber says, repeat your connection. Internet was funky cutting out unless it was just mine. Is it happening for others as well? Are you able to see and hear me fine? Oh, okay. Let me check. Um, okay, it is good now. Now is clear. Okay. Yeah, it might have been a fluctuation, but either way, I have like opened my mobile data as well in case, the Wi-Fi just ditches me. Amber says just the explanation and introduction. Yeah, you haven't missed anything. So, yeah, so I was saying we usually start with a meditation. Okay, you had to go all the way out and come back. Okay. You're going or you went out. Either way, it's fine. You can always just have this play in the background or just drop in and join back. It's everything is all right because just, you made me a part of your routine means a lot. And yeah, you can just, do things based on your schedule. I don't mind that. Okay. Laura says it is clear from here. Wonderful. Thank you, Laura, for letting me know. Um, John says now video is super clear. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you guys for, letting me know and yeah, for the confirmation as well. Okay, you have returned. Nice to have you back, Lisa. Yeah. So, yeah, just a little bit about what we do in case, anyone don't know, or joining us for the very first time, which I'm very grateful for that you decided to tune in and check me out, check this live out. Yeah, so after the meditation, once we are more grounded and centered, what we do next is that we have a wheel of wisdom. And on that wheel, we have around 31 books right now. And we spin that wheel, and a book is chosen for us to do a reading from. And then we play a little game where I ask you to choose some numbers, then I select some numbers, and yeah, and things flows from there. It is a lot more fun, you know. When we get there, I will explain that part. But for now, are you guys ready for a meditation? So today is going to be a heart-based meditation. And my hope is that you're going to leave this, live and go back to your life with a heart full of love and yeah, just feeling wrapped in love. Okay, so Laura is ready. Wonderful. Lisa, Amber. Okay, wonderful. Thank you guys. So I'm going to just take a sip of water and you guys can do as well. And maybe if you want, you can just find a quiet place, whatever works. So we are just taking just a moment. Hi, Siji. I hope that I'm pronouncing your name right. And if not, you feel free to correct me, type in the phonetics. But yeah, Susie says, good morning from Chicago. Good morning and welcome. I'm happy to have you here. And we're going to just start the meditation in a moment. Okay, people. So begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can either sit, stand, or lie down, whatever your body needs right now. Allowing your spine to get just a little bit taller, aligning your head with the spine and placing your hands in your lap, on your knees, or by the sides of your body, wherever they would naturally rest. And now, if you feel safe, allow your eyes to close completely, or alternatively, you can lower your gaze, looking downward at the floor in front of you. Before we even begin the practice, allow yourself to set an intention for this practice. Reflect, why are you here? And now allow this intention to leave your mind and gently settle into your heart. With your mind free, bring your attention to your breath, taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In, out, in, out, arriving in the here and now. As you feel relaxed and as your body softens just a little bit more, allow yourself to bring to your mind someone who you love deeply, a person who you care about and who cares about you. It could be a family member, a dear friend, a mentor, or your partner. So think of someone who brings a smile on your face and warmth in your heart when you think about them. See their faces in your mind's eye and sense their presence besides you. You might notice them sitting beside you or perhaps standing in front of you. So just feel their presence in whatever manner it naturally arises for you. And as you feel their presence, silently repeat these wishes for them after me. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with ease. feeling each wish as you say it in your heart, and visualize them receiving these wishes. So, as you see them receive this loving energy, you might notice a smile arising on their face. And if you feel called to, you can add your own wishes for them, something that you think they need. For example, may you feel loved and valued. May you feel peaceful or something else. So take a moment to wish them whatever you want to for them. Before we move on, notice how these wishes have not only impacted them, but also you. So, noticing how your body is reacting to these wishes, noticing any sensations in your heart. So, does your heart feel open or constricted, lighter or heavy? As you become aware of your body, allow your awareness to rest on yourself in this visualization. And now imagine receiving the same wishes. You send them back from them for you because you too deserve love and care. So imagine them saying these words to you. May you be safe. You can repeat after me if you want to acknowledge that you have received these wishes by saying, may I be safe. So they continue, may you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with ease. Letting these wishes sink in deeper and deeper. Letting these words move through your body like a warm sunlight. And now notice the effects of these words on you. And before we scan our whole body to notice the effects of this practice, I invite you to take a moment to also receive the wishes, the additional wishes you sended their way. So notice them wishing the same additional wishes for you. And now also allow any other wishes that they might think you need right now in your life. So imagine them wishing all the things that you need right now in your life. And now notice the effects of receiving these wishes from your loved one. Noticing if you are smiling, or perhaps you have tears in your eyes, or reassurance in your heart. And now bring your full awareness to your body, awakening it fully by bringing small movements like wiggling your toes and your fingers and moving your body in whatever direction it feels called to move. And finally, opening your eyes, connecting back with the space around you. Welcome back. I love to see the love overflowing. Thank you so much for all the hearts. I am so happy that you all feel so deeply connected to your hearts that the hearts here are not stopping. Um, Thank you. I am so grateful that we could spend these moments feeling wrapped in love. And I see that some new people have joined us while we were meditating. So, welcome to episode number 72 of Wheel of Wisdom. I am grateful to have you. And I want to let you know that in case you missed the meditation, the live is getting recorded. So you can always access the replays by going to the link in the About section of my profile. And this meditation isn't just isn't just the whole live, but it is just the first part of this live. And we have a lot more wisdom and fun to tap into. So stay tuned until, I read the comments. And if anyone feel called to share about their experience of the meditation, I would love to read that. Um, Suze says, I sent love to myself. Wow, it is so wonderful to know that you are the person that, you love most. It's very rare that people have that kind of a self-love. So I'm happy that you love yourself, Suze. And if you enjoyed this meditation, and if you would, if you're feeling like checking out my other meditations, then you know, you can follow me and you can check out my content because I have around 42 meditations, 42 free tracks on Insight Timer in my profile, and 11 premium tracks. So, yeah, I have a lot of meditations, and we have also recorded. So, just like this one, we have been doing one meditation in all of these lives up until now, and we have about 80 meditations that have been recorded so far. And yeah, now I'm publishing them on Insight Timer as a free track, so everyone has the access. So yeah, you can, follow me to get notified when those new meditations come up because one meditation is getting released every week, especially like on Wednesdays. Okay, so let's see. Amber says, it was wonderful and expansive, loving meditation, Miigwech. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, that is, that is the effect that it has on many people, that feeling of expansiveness because love is that way. And yeah, and when we connect to that loving presence, we just become aware of the very nature of ourselves. Laura says, thank you so much. Thank you, Laura. I am glad that you enjoyed the meditation. And by the way, guys, we do have some teachers here, like Laura is one of them. I love her tracks, it really helps. They really helps me sleep and relax. So yeah, if you feel called to, you can check her out. We have Caitlin, you know, she is just a wonderful soul. And yeah, a lot more. Yeah, she has a lot more content, but I especially love her lives. So yeah, I invite you to check them out as well. And if there is any other teacher, feel free to, mention that in the comment. And if you have any live or something like that coming up, feel free to mention that as well, so that people can find you out. And yeah, and they get what they need. Laura says, thank you, Anisha. You are so welcome, Laura. Okay, so having all of that said, now that we are more grounded, let's let's spin the wheel. Okay, so let me show you guys the wheel. So, my beautiful, amazing people, this is our Wheel of Wisdom. Okay. It's okay if you cannot see the name of the books. You're not supposed to. so what we are going to do before we spin the wheel, I invite you guys to take a moment to think about anything specific that you are struggling with. So maybe there is a specific issue in your life that you are having a hard time with, and you would like some guidance. Or maybe there is a specific area of your life in which you would love some direction or clarity. Or maybe there is nothing specific and yeah, you just want to see what comes up. So take a moment, if that's the case, to take a moment to set an intention to receive some general guidance for today. So, whatever it is, something specific or just, openness, take a moment to bring that intention to your mind, to the forefront of your mind. When you have done so, let me know by pressing the heart so that I know you have thought of something and then we can spin the wheel. Okay, few people have done it. Okay, a lot more people have thought of something. Wonderful. So now let's spin the wheel. Caitlin says ready. Thank you, Caitlin. Okay, for mentioning that. So, holding that in your mind as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the winner, the book that wanted to come through is. Okay, Amber was playing with, Amber was adding more fun. Amber asked, "Ooh, where will it land? What will the then open be shared?" Yeah, all that curiosity. Okay, yeah, before I even read your comment, I was feeling really curious. Would it land on this book or this book? Okay, so the book that have been chosen for all of us here today is The Here and Now Habit, a guide to the present moment. And the book has been written by Hugh G. Barney. So let's see what this beautiful, amazing, wisdom filled book have for all of us. I can see you guys are loving the title. So give me a second to open the book and choose the numbers because in a moment we are going to have some more fun. And yeah, I'm going to ask you to choose a number. Okay. So just a second. Hmm. Okay. So, in a moment from now, I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers. And for anyone who is joining us for the very first time, I want to mention this that there is no need to rush. In fact, I don't want you to rush. All I invite you to do is to tune into your own intuition and see which number comes up for you and mention that in the comment. And why rushing won't help because I'm not going to choose the number at top, but instead I'm going to go through all the numbers and tune into my own intuition and see which number am I feeling called to. Okay. So the numbers between which I am asking you to choose are 40 to 142. I can see Sujay is very excited. Thank you for sharing the number, but I'm pretty sure on this particular page, we might not have some reading. It might be like a description or something. So, yeah, feel free to choose a number again. Yeah, it's more like table of content or something like that on page number 9. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Sujay. Okay, a lot more like nines. Okay. Okay, a lot more nines. Now I am really curious. Hmm, I'm feeling called to search for something. Give me a second. Yeah, so nines, 999 or 9999 indicate the angel number indicate like, either a competition or a new start. So it is a strong positive number. It signifies that you are about to overcome your past challenges and a new chapter is about to start a new life. Okay, interesting. So I'm excited for the new chapter in my life, and I hope that you also carry the emotions of excitement rather than, nervousness. And if it is that way, then that's okay as well. All emotions are welcome. So we have a few numbers here. And anyone else who feel called to, you can share the numbers. Until then, I'm going to go through these numbers, okay? And let me remind you this, whoever number I chooses, it doesn't mean that that reading is just for that person. It means that it is for all of us, and they are just a source of wisdom. Because since you all are here, so you were meant to hear that message. Okay, so keep that in your mind. Okay, let's see. So the number that I am feeling called to is 89, and the number has been chosen by Susie for all of us. So let's see, what piece of wisdom wants to come through from this page. Thank you, Susie. Okay, so page number 89. Hmm, interesting and very helpful. Okay, so this is for anyone who have an unhealthy habit, okay? And even a healthy one, you can use like you can flip the instructions and use that. So the subheading for this is paying attention before, during, and after. So you can work on undoing an unhealthy habit by exercising present moment awareness. Okay, so mindfulness, bringing mindfulness to three distinct times. Okay, first is before the impulse to engage in the habit arises. So just when you're feeling that urge. The second is during the impulse to engage in the habit. So while the impulse is getting very stronger. So usually when we feel, that urge, there is like, so our body works really fast, our brain works really fast. And I don't remember the exact thing, but I read something about like there is a very, very quick signal that goes, um, I think that happens more of in our body rather than in our brain. So even before we can figure everything out, we have this, I don't know, this pre something. So in the before stage, so you can think of it like this when the impulse is just starting. Okay. So before stage, during stage, when the impulse to act or do something, engage in the, unhealthy habit is very stronger. And the third phase is after the impulse to engage in the habit has subsided or been indulged. So if you haven't acted on the impulse, then it would have, naturally dissipated because like every emotion or every urge that we have, it comes like a wave. So initially it is lower, then it forms like this bell curve, it reaches its peak. And then if we don't act on it, then it would naturally dissipate. And if we act on it, then, of course, it is going to go away because that need of ours is met. Um, so this will happen naturally. And if we have indulge, so that is the other situation, in the after stage. So in the first section, in the before section, the author mentions you can explore what leads you to engage in the habit and make choices that can help prevent you from doing so. So basically, identify the trigger, identify the cue, what exactly happened that that led to that impulse. So maybe, if you have a habit of drinking, and that is something that you're trying to quit, that is labeled, that is not good for you. So in that case, first you need to identify the trigger. So maybe, when you are hanging out with friends, so that social interaction is more of a trigger. Otherwise, you don't drink, but when you are hanging out with your friends and they are drinking, then you feel like drinking, okay? Or when you are feeling stressed, then you feel like, using a cigarette or something like that. So identify the exact triggers as to what happens just before the impulse, okay? Second, so this all is a part of mindfulness. This all is a part of the here and now habit. And that is and that's why the name, it's about bringing mindfulness to our, these unhealthy habits of ours. So that is the first stage. Okay. The second is during. You can pay attention and choose to be open to the urge, craving, or difficult feeling that typically spurs the habitual behavior. So either it might be just a urge, or if maybe a feeling itself is a trigger, then you need to become aware of the overwhelm, the stress, or whatever emotion that you're going through, the sadness, the anger, whatever it is. So bringing our awareness to the urge or the impulse itself or the emotion that we're experiencing in our body and gently focus on that feeling and allow it to come and go rather than engaging in that habit. So basically, when we become aware of that urge, as I said, you would notice that that feeling, that emotion, or the sensation, or the impulse, it slowly rises. So when you are sitting, the intensity increases, and it reaches a peak. And then after that, if you don't act on it, it would start to slowly and gradually, that intensity is going to go away. It's more of like, yeah, it's more of like, sometimes we are like, yeah, I'm really craving this food, I really, really want it. And we wait, and the intensity rises. And if for some reason we can't have it, it reaches a peak. And then when we are not getting it, the craving starts to get away, like starts the intensity starts to drop, and maybe from a moment from now you're like, nah, I'm not having it now. So yeah, so that is something that happens with urges or cravings. So I'm talking about your favorite food. I'm not talking about hunger, because that is like, your body needs something, so it is not going to go away, it is going to increase. Yeah, so that is something that your body really, really needs. um and with hunger also, if you are doing fasting, I haven't been doing that, I haven't done that, so I cannot talk from experience, but maybe it might also happen with hunger after some time. But yeah. Okay, it seems like Colin is relating to this. Okay, wonderful. So, bringing mindfulness to the before stage. What is the trigger? What was the trigger? Second is, during stage, bringing awareness to the urge, the urge, the impulse, or the feeling itself. Okay. Colleen says, "Thank you for explaining the situation because I get deprived." Yeah, I hope that you can get some reassurance in that it is going to go away, you know. And it's not, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's not go into that. Yeah. So it is going to go away. Unless you are on like some severe, substance kind of thing, then you might have withdrawal symptoms. So you need to like manage that and keep that information and everything in your mind, while dealing with this. But yeah, um, in that also, it is important to bring all of these elements as it will help you, deal with your habits a little bit better. Johnny says, thank you for telling about this. I was just having problems with some triggers, so this is very helpful. Thank you. Wonderful. I am glad that this, particular piece of information was helpful. And I want to remind you one thing here, that when we are sitting with that emotion, or when we are sitting with um that, urge or something, our intention should not be, and especially with emotions, our intention should not be to get rid of them. Our intention should not be like, I'm just tolerating it for just a little bit longer, just a little bit longer until it dissipates. Okay. So our intention is to be with it, to be with that part that is really suffering, that is, bearing this pain of that difficult emotion or whatever it is going on in your body. So that is our intention, to be there for that part rather than to just tolerate it until it's over. So yeah, the thing is reassuring that yeah, it rises and it, goes away, but it might not always happen every single time because of various factors. It is the natural thing. It happens, okay. But our intention should not be that. If you are trying to do that and it doesn't happen, then it would be so frustrating for you and you won't even try this again. And you will lose the chance to cultivate this very useful skill. Okay. Susie says spot on. Wonderful. I am glad that the reading is resonating with so many people today. Megan says, a wonderful reminder. We can move from reactive to responsive in a few breaths. Exactly, and thank you, Megan, for joining us. Guys, Megan is another wonderful, wonderful teacher on Insight Timer. And yeah, I especially have enjoyed her tracks related to she also have a lot of tracks related to mindfulness. And yeah, I love her guidance. So I invite you to check her out as well. And if you feel like, learning more about mindfulness and cultivating mindfulness, then I do have like a few courses for you because, as I mentioned, most of my content is around that. So if you want to learn about it and just start with this mindfulness thing, which has become so popularized in the last, I think, um, 2 or 4 decades. Yeah, because it is very helpful, it is very effective. And yeah, and I love it. For me, it is like life changing. So yeah, this is the first course that you can try. I share my story in this course, and I also mention how you can practice mindfulness, not only like in a formal setting where you are sitting in a quiet room in a lotus posture and yeah, just sitting like a Buddha. So yeah, which is important. But I also mention how you can bring mindfulness to your everyday life. So, yeah, not just being mindful and carrying the beautiful effects of it while you were meditating, but outside of the question. And that was the click for me. That was something that attracted me to mindfulness. And then I, pursued getting certified as a mindfulness meditation teacher because it has been really helpful. So yeah, you can save this one and the other course that I would recommend you guys if you're interested in this, which might specifically help you. It is not around the habits, but it is about, cultivating mindfulness in your daily life, as well as, noticing the beauty, the awe, the wonder, the magic that is already here in this moment without having to change anything about your life. Nothing has to change, not even your mindset per se. Okay. But just bringing your attention, just shifting the focus of your attention a little bit. So, yeah, you can, check this course out as well. And the final thing that I have for you is before, I complete this reading is I have created a whole playlist of mindfulness meditation, like a challenge or something. So if you feel called to, you can go to my profile, scroll all the way down, okay? And you will see this playlist, Mindfulness Meditation Challenge. So yeah, you can check this one out as well. Because yeah, we can just get all the things we need to bring mindfulness in. Okay. Okay, Colleen find this helpful. Wonderful. So you can save it, so that I can remove this particular course from the link. So the first one was the ultimate beginner's guide to mindfulness meditation. And this one is break free from monotony without changing your everyday routine. Okay. So before I continue reading, let me see any comments. We have some. Colleen says, I do want to learn and practice mindfulness. Thanks. Wonderful. I am glad that you're going on this path, and I really hope that it gives you whatever it is that you need, Colin, because it has given me, and the thing that it gave me was hope for peace, hope for a lot of things. So yeah, I wish that for you as well. Okay, so let me go through some other comments. Megan says, thank you for your support, dear friend. Love your guidance as well. Thank you, Megan. And I loved seeing it here today. We have a lot of teachers here today. Beautiful. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, and we have a lot more. So don't, you guys don't need to leave yet. Just going through the last comment and then we will continue. Thank you so much, Megan, for this kind gift. I am beyond words to receive this support from a fellow teacher. It means a lot, really. I know you know how much it means, so thank you so much, really. And I wish that this loving and abundance, energy that you're sharing with me multiplies and come back to you in so many unexpected ways. So thank you so much, Megan. Okay, Lisa says this has exactly what I needed to hear. My intention was exactly this for today. Wonderful. I love the alignment here, guys. Okay, so let's complete this reading. Yeah, so the third part that we can benefit from bringing mindfulness to is after, after the impulse to engage in that habit has subsided or we have indulged. So there are two scenarios, right? Either we stayed strong and present, or we get, indulged in that habit. So the author says, if you engaged in the habit, you can consciously extend yourself kindness and forgiveness, a very important one, rather than compounding an unhealthy habit with negative judgments or harsh criticism. So if the urge subsided, then everything is good. Um, but I do like to add one more component here from my side, which is trying to figure out what need of yours you were trying to meet, okay? Or when that trigger happens, what need of yours do you try to meet? And try to meet that particular need in some other way because you were feeling that urge because there was something in your body that needed something. So that is something that, I recommend people to do. And I actually created, I think, a track around it, which take you step by step. It was around social media addiction. Uh, yeah, here it is. So I walked, I have walked here and I'm walking you guys through this whole process, my version of it in a way. So yeah, you can check this particular out. It doesn't involve like every single thing that was mentioned here, but especially, yeah, the during part and the after part as well. And if you have engaged, then it is so important to offer yourself compassion and forgiveness. You don't need to be disciplined at that moment or try to be strong or hard or whatever it is that you believe will help you get out of the habit. you know, because you don't want to carry that criticism along with you as you continue this journey. So allow yourself, you tried your best, and even if you indulged, you were at least aware or present for the whole duration, in the before part and during part. And that matters a lot. You're cultivating a skill, and it is not going to happen in one day. So just be gentle with yourself. If you indulge, forgive yourself. Don't carry the shame, don't carry the guilt with you. Okay. So that was our first reading for today. And now it's time to do another reading. So I invite you guys to vote. Would you like me to continue from the same book, or would you like me to choose a different book? Spin the wheel again and choose a different book. So you can vote same book or a different book. Okay, Lisa says same book, Amber says same book. I can see you guys are loving this book. Okay, Laura don't mind either way. Okay. So let's go with the same book since many people, want that. And before we do so, I invite you guys, anyone who has just joined us or joined later, to, also add your numbers to the list. And anyone who have voted before also, if you're feeling called towards another number, feel free, choose a number between 40 to 142. Okay. So take your time, tune into your intuition, and choose a number between 40 to 142. So I'm going to take a sip, and in that moment, if anyone feel like adding a number, you can. And if not, then we are going to go with the previous numbers. Okay. Anna says, me, first time here. Hi, Anna. I am happy that this was going on your screen and you decided to tune in. Thank you so much. And yeah, you have mentioned the number beautiful. And I want to let you know who is joining like later on that don't worry that you're choosing late or something. I go through all the numbers and choose a number randomly, based on my intuition. So don't worry at all about that. And Amber, love the number that you chose. A very auspicious number indeed. Thank you, Amber. Mm. Okay, so let's see which numbers do we have. Okay, Amber, thank you for adding the number. Thank you, Marsha, Karen, Catherine, and anyone else also. And welcome. I see these new names, so I named them. Thank you, and I am glad to have you guys. So let's see. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling called to is 62. And that number has been chosen for all of us by Marsha. Thank you, Marsha. And thank you, Lynn, for adding the number. I'm happy to have you here again. And I want to again remind you, whoever number I choose is, it doesn't mean that that reading is just for them. It is for all of us, including me, because we all are here. So we were meant to hear that message. Okay. Thank you, Al, for sharing that number. And if we do another reading, we will consider your number as well. So let's go with the number that Marsha chose for all of us. which is 62. So the author says to create new thought patterns and behavioral patterns, you need to first notice your triggers, the thing that encourage you to act out. Once you learn to notice your triggers, you will have two choices anytime you feel the urge to engage in a habit. So, again, this is a deeper dive into the first one, bringing our awareness to the before part, just before we feel the urge. So, identify what triggered that urge within you. So, once you identify, and this you need to do beforehand, or you can just keep a log and see what are the times when you do engage in that behavior and what happens just before them. And just keep a log and see what is the like top one or two things that trigger an impulse for that habit in you. Okay, so once you have that clarity, then in that moment when you again engage in that, you will, you will remember that, yeah, this is something that is going to trigger the urge. Or if the urge has started already, then you would know that, this thing happened. And after this, I'm feeling this. So, yeah, so at this moment when you have awareness, so usually like we do habits on default automatically, that is our go-to and we are not aware. But now when we bring awareness to that and when we know that, okay, this is the trigger and this is happening right now, we would have choices. Okay. So the first choice is to carry out the habitual behavior, which is the unhealthy habit. The second choice would be to let yourself experience the feelings, the sensations, the thoughts, and anything else that is present, and then choose not to carry out the habitual behavior. So, you must notice here the author did not just jump to not doing the behavior. The author asked us to stay with whatever is in that moment, to be with it, and then, make a choice, make an informed, mindfulness, intentional, aligned choice. And this is what mindful or intentional or aligned living is. And that is what I am passionate about, helping people do. And that is what I do in my, life coaching. So, this later choice may not lead to any external action, but may simply involve tuning in to your experience and letting the impulse pass on its own time. So, yeah, sure, Megan. So, the name of the book is The Here and Now Habit, and the author is Hughes G. Barney. Like I do mention like all of the books that I read and the readings itself in my group on Insight Timer, which is Wonderful Beings. Let me mention that here. So you guys can always catch on to it and don't miss it. Yeah, okay, wonderful. Megan has added this one to her list. Yeah, it is a wonderful read, especially if you're looking for using mindfulness to overcome your unhealthy habits. Yeah. So I hope that you will like it. And yeah, if you guys also, if anyone else also feels called to buy these books and yeah, check them out. If you resonate with the content with the author, then yeah, feel free to do so. I recommend that. Okay. So, yeah, so the author mentions that once we be with our feelings and we have, worked through them, we have stayed with them, then either the choice might be to not the choice might be to just not act on anything and even do the behavior that we do, but at least we did stayed with that feeling. And that is the important part. We are cultivating that, that skill. Or it may involve choosing a healthier response, such as replacing a walk to the donut shop with a wall in the park. So, with a walk in the park, sorry. So the author says that, yeah, just replace that habit with something else. It is difficult to take that habit and throw it out. It is recommended to use something else to replace that habit to do instead of this habit. That is a wiser way to go about habit change. So it can be something like replacing a walk with going to a donut shop if that is your, unhealthy habit. And in this way, you will create a new thought pattern or behavioral pattern that is in alignment with your values and intention. So, a helpful question to ask yourself is, when you feel the urge to act out an unhealthy habit, ask yourself, what would I have to experience if I were to not eat this cookie or smoke this cigarette? What would I have to feel? And training in mindfulness begins with opening to your experience as it is. So we are always, or most of the times, always is a big word, but yeah, most of the times when we engage in an unhealthy habit, there is always something, a feeling that we are trying to avoid. So when we ask ourselves this question, then that it brings the feelings to the forefront, to our awareness, and then we can just be with that feeling, that feeling that we're trying to avoid. And if needed, choose a healthier response to meet that feeling, to comfort ourselves, that is in alignment with our values, that is in alignment with, who we want to be and stuff like that. So, so this was the reading for today. Let me see the time. Hmm. It feels like, yeah, this would be the last reading for today, but don't leave just yet. I have a gift for all the women who are attending this live. Okay. And I have a few announcements to make as well. So, firstly, if you know, if you missed out on any part of this, a live like meditation or a reading, or if you would just like to go back, or perhaps you would like to check out the previous lives in Wheel of Wisdom, then you can do so because this is getting recorded and you can access the replays by, let me show you guys. So you can go to my profile, okay? Go to the About section there, scroll all the way down, and you will see a link tree there, okay? So when you click on this link tree, you will see Wheel of Wisdom replays. So, when you click on that, you will see a whole playlist of all the 72 lives in the series that we have done since January of this year. So, yeah, why I have created a playlist is because I did have an intention, behind that. And that is to help you develop a connection with your intuition, meaning that, whenever you're going through something and you would like some guidance or wisdom, and I'm not going live, then what you can do is that you can just open that playlist, choose a number between 1 to 72, and just watch that video, whatever number came up for you, just watch that video and know that that message wanted to come through and it has reached you. So, yeah, you can play with that and apply that in your life. And although it does take like 1 hour for this video to get uploaded on my channel. So, the other way, if you would like immediate access, is to join my group, which is Wonderful Beings. So, you can either search for Wonderful Beings on Insight Timer, or you can go to my profile. Okay, scroll down. Okay, let me put my profile here. Okay, so go to my profile, scroll down on the home page itself. When you will scroll down, and by the way, So, as you might have noticed, that we did a meditation in this particular live, and we have been doing one meditation in, each live at least. And we have recorded around 80 meditations so far, which I'm releasing now one by one on Insight Timer as a free track. So, this was the one that got released this Wednesday, meaning today. Yeah, which is balance your heart chakra, which goes perfectly with the meditation that we did today. And yeah, it has everything like, the chant, the affirmation, the visualization, everything. So yeah, you can check it out. Like, it is a part of a series, a chakra series that we have been doing. So yeah, you can check, in fact, you can check all these meditations out that are getting released from the series by going to the playlist, scrolling down. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so you will see Wheel of Wisdom meditations here. So I have compiled a list of all the, meditations that we did in the series, and I have put them in a playlist. And I have like other playlists as well. So I try to organize my content in the playlist form so that it is easier to navigate for you guys. So you can check these out. Yes, I was telling you about the group. So when you scroll like this all the way down below the playlist, you will see the group here, Wonderful Beings. So I would love to have you as a part of this beautiful, little community of my own on Inside Timer. And what I do is that within like 5 or 10 minutes, I post a summary of the live itself, mentioning the kind of meditation that we did, the name of the book that we read, or the exact readings as well. So, so you don't miss out on anything. And also, I update if my new track is getting released. Um, Megan says, wow, you are on fire, Anisha. What an incredible amount of supportive offerings. Thank you for helping me restart my day with positivity and calm. Thank you so much, Megan, for spending your time with me and yeah, making me a part of your morning routine. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support and your presence. And I hope to see you back in one of my lives later on. Um, Durge says, is this only for women? No, the group is for everyone. So yeah, if you feel called to, you can join the group. Um, yeah, so what was I saying? So I, update everyone in the group about any new offerings, like a new track, especially the series that is getting released. And yeah, any other thing that I need to update, like if a live is getting cancelled for some reason, which happens rarely, but yeah, it does. So I mention everything in that group. And if you don't feel like joining the group, but if you would still like to get notified about the next live or the new track that is getting released, you can always follow me to get notified. I would love to, offer you and as much content as I can. And I'm planning to offer you a lot of free content in the future as well. So no worries about that. Now it is time for the gift for all the women who are attending the live. So, so the gift that I recently have started offering is that I am offering a complimentary session with me to all the women who are attending the live. So, if you are a woman who would be interested in a powerful conversation with me, in a free 1 hour coaching session, then you can reach out and you can, message me on Insight Timer. The way to message me is you can go to my profile. Okay. If you're already following me, you would see the follow button becomes a donate button, and above it, three dots appear. So, click on the three dots and go to message teacher. And here you can message me that Anisha, I'm interested in that offering or something like that. And I would love to support you. And I can promise you one thing. So if you're considering whether to spend your time and energy in this thing, in this offer or not, then I can promise you that you're going to leave with at least one powerful insight from the session because that has happened with every single woman that I've worked with so far. So yeah, that I can promise you this thing. Um, Johnny says, thank you for supporting, community and women, Anisha. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you so much. And I'm so looking forward to, get to know you more. Okay. So yeah, I really appreciate, your recognition and your support. So if you enjoyed this live, if you enjoyed, anything about this or find any value from this live, and if you would like to support me, continue these lives, continue showing up, continue doing something that I love about and I deeply care about, and yeah, and continue all of these free offerings, then you can support me by making a donation of whatever amount that you feel called to. There is no pressure always. Any amount that, you feel called to share is deeply accepted with, great gratitude from my side. So yeah, so if you feel called to, feel free to make a donation. And if not, then that's okay as well. Lisa says, you will love talking with Anisha. Anisha is a great listener. By all means, have a session with Anisha. I so appreciate that, Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing, your feedback from the session and from encouraging other, for encouraging other women to reach out. I so appreciate that. It means a lot, really. And in fact, it means so much to me that I'm going to take a picture of it and keep it in my gallery, yeah. So what I do is that sometimes I take a picture of the beautiful, amazing, feedbacks that I receive from you guys, or yeah, just a beautiful comment that I find, and I keep it in my gallery so to remind me when I am feeling low. So yeah, you guys help me really. Okay, thank you, Amber, for all the beautiful flowers and hearts and waves of love. Thank you so much. So, if anyone would like to join me in the next live, which I would very much like you to join, then you can do so by, yeah. Oh, I forgot to add that. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I was just going to put that here, but you can go to my profile always and check out the event section there, and you will see the next live in that. So the next live is day after tomorrow around this at this exact same time. And I would love to have each and every one of you there. So I guess that's it for this live. Thank you so much for your presence, for all the lovely hearts, the interaction, the beautiful feedback. And especially thank you, Megan, for the kind donation, for supporting my work. I so appreciate that. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. Thank you, Laura, for staying till the end. I so appreciate that. I am glad that you enjoyed it and you used the word wonderful because, yeah, that is something that that comes to me when I think of all of us, filled with wonder. So thank you. Thank you, Laura. And I hope to see you again sometime. Okay. And everyone else as well. Okay, guys. Bye bye. I will see you soon. See you day after tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care.